Welcome everyone! Today's episode of Under the Radar features an NES game that pushed the system to its limits in terms of graphics and sound. Gimmick, or Mr. Gimmick, in Europe, was developed as a large-scale project by Sunsoft, but due to fading interest in 8-bit systems and the push for 16-bit game consoles like the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis, this game never saw a North American release. Sunsoft was no stranger to delivering some of the best experiences on the NES, and were one of the more popular companies in the 90s, releasing such classics as Blaster Master, Journey to Silius, and the NES version of Spy Hunter. Gimmick used all kinds of advanced technical wizardry to deliver a fun and beautiful platformer that should have went down as one of the very best NES games of all time. Stick around and let me show you what it's all about. The story of Gimmick involves a small green blob named Yumetaro. He is given to a young girl as her birthday present by her father, who can only break away from work on special occasions. When the girl opens her gift revealing Yumetaro, she's delighted and he quickly becomes her favorite toy. Her other toys quickly become jealous, no longer feeling loved, and one night they come alive and take her to another dimension. Yumetaro follows them in search of the girl. The premise is a simple one, but gives you some motivation as to why you're playing as this strange little guy in the first place. Gimmick doesn't feature passwords or a save system, but you're able to retry the last level you were playing as many times as you would like, and that's a very good thing, considering how difficult this game is. The gameplay is similar to other platformers of the era, and your main attack is a star that you charge up and hurl at your enemies. There seems to be physics involved, an impressive feat for an NES game, as it never seems to bounce the same way. Speed and slopes affect where the star ends up. This game isn't shy about its difficulty, and part of the reason it wasn't released involved it looking too childish, yet being too challenging. Legitimately, it seems like every aspect of this game wants you dead, and if you're not used to taxing games like Mega Man 10 or Ghosts and Goblins, you might not stand a chance. I mean, look how cheap this game can be. There's a fair amount of muscle memory involved in order to overcome some of its obstacles. Even characters who seem to be allies will attempt a cheap shot before they welcome you aboard. Gimmick is still a fun experience, and the catchy soundtrack and addicting gameplay kept me coming back for more, but I must have died hundreds of times during my playthroughs. The bosses start out tricky, but quickly transcend to a level in which I wanted to pull my hair out. Wait a minute, I don't have any hair. You know what I mean. This isn't the hardest game ever made by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, speedrunners have recently begun playing through Gimmick in around 20 minutes, so maybe I just suck at it. But if you want a serious retro challenge that feels sincerely rewarding to play through, try it out. There's no legitimate way to purchase a physical copy, but people have been selling reproduction carts on eBay. Have any of you played Mr. Gimmick? Do you have a suggestion on what I should feature next? Give me some feedback below and be sure to like or subscribe and I'll look into your suggestions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.